How much space between the flags? Regatta.
Isn't it like 2 canoe boats, 2 canoe lengths or something?
Okay, that's pretty correct. But anybody know the number?
40 feet.
Who?
60.
80.
80.
80 feet. So these are my short canoes. I got the long canoes with. So generally speaking, the flags are just a little bit smaller than 2 canoe lengths. How long are the canoes?
About 40.
They must be.
No, not quite. 45.
45.
45 is the rule. You can't make it. So most of the canoes, they used to be about in the 30s. Some of the old Malias are 38, 36. But then they felt that the canoes were going to be fitter in the water at about 45. So they made the rule to 45 is your max. So a lot of the coal canoes are all 44, 11 and a half, you might say. So, but it's up to you. You just can't go over 45, that's all. So coming up soon, probably sometime in February, we're gonna weigh all of our racing canoes. So that's gonna be one of our jobs. I think I'm gonna plan it for a Saturday after practice, so we're still gonna practice. All right. So if I put a canoe line to line, it's not gonna fit. So there you go, it's not gonna fit. Okay. So when we're on the starting line, this is going to be a little bit of everything. What is the steersman thinking of?
Where's my flag?
Yes. Where's the flag? So usually when I come on a regatta day, and I go to the steersman, what color is your flag? You should know it already. That's the first thing. And all the colors are usually the same from week to week. Then they don't mix them up. But you should know your flag. And I used to say between 2 flags, 2 different colors, but people get confused. So they go, which flag? And then on the line, they don't know. So I only talk about one color, the one you turn around. So in this case, green flag, right? Okay, so when you're on the starting line here, what's the steersman's responsibility? What happens? In other words, what side of the canoe are you going to start on?
What side of the canoe?
Right.
Does it matter? Does it matter?
I don't think so. It depends on what the wind and current
Okay, what
is
if the
doing,
canoe
right?
starts to go over? What if the canoe starts to drift over this way? You got canoe holders, right?
Yeah.
But what happens if you start to go off to the left? Which side would I start on?
I want to start on the right side.
Left and copy.
Left. Left and J-stroke. You never want to poke
On the start.
on the first 3 changes.
Sure.
Never ever. As soon as you poke, that's the brakes. You lost 1 seat. You lost the race. Every half second counts, right? On a regatta. You know how fast they finish. Okay, so if you're drifting this way, then you start on the right. Generally speaking, I like to have, especially ocean races, have 1, 3, 5 on the left side start, because that way you have a less tendency to tip. Well, I mean, always another story though, because the first change you're on, you could be surfing, and the weight. That's another story. We'll go into that.
Mike,
Okay.
when you say starting, are you talking just about the steers person, or are you talking about the whole?
I'm talking, well, 1, 3, 5 on the left.
over the
Usually, just so if anything's going to happen, it's going to happen on the first change.
Oh, okay.
But the steersman's got to be careful.
Yeah.
You got to see where the canoe is, and you got to. So, what's the responsibility of the canoe holders?
Get you as close to the flag without going over.
Yeah, usually a shoulder length, a shoulder width.
Keep it straight.
Okay. So the guy in the front watches the line. What about the guy in the back? What do they do? Or the holder in the back. Straightness. How can they see from at the surface of the water? Who are they listening to?
Steersman.
The steersman.
Yeah.
This way or this way. That's you got to communicate with the canoe holder. Go this way so that you're lined up perfect. And okay, so that when you start, you don't want to start crooked. You want to start straight. That's another half second, because you're gonna go off this way. The first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna try correct, right? So you don't want to do that. You want to just go off. First 3 changes, just smoking. Okay. Okay, now my next step. All from my memory. Okay, we get started. Oh, that's right. So where am I going to aim for? Am I going to aim right for here? In other words, I'm going to do this.
About 2/3 over.
Yeah,
towards
2/3.
the orange.
Right here. That's where you want. That's where you want to aim for. Okay, so you want to aim for. You never want to have to come in like you never want to come in, then so you have to come back out and then come back in. And you zigzag all over the place. So right off the bat, I'd rather stay wide initially. So all you have to do is come in slowly. Flag. Okay, so now I need something short. Over there. Sure. Okay, I got it.
Here, with that one?
Oh, better yet.
Mike, how about that?
That's good.
Oh, there's that one.
Okay, so you wanna aim about 3/4 of your lane. So you're coming up here, and here's your flag over here. If you're steersman, you're getting this close. This is where your eyes are at. Never take your eye off the ball. Never. You lose your concentration, you've lost it. So as you're coming up, this is all I'm looking at here. Everything else is when on the canoe is automatic. I'm also watching for the canoes. We'll get into that in a minute. Okay. So the question is, when do I start my approach? Well, you want to approach so that you are at this position. Without losing speed. So in other words, if I'm in this position right here, I'm coming up, I want to start it, I'll just give it a little light poke. One little light poke. The canoe starts to turn. I start paddling again. And it keeps turning by itself, right? It's not going to stop turning. The question is, did I do it enough or did I do it too much? So it's good to start off with a light one. Get the canoe moving, and then maybe one more so that you got it. So two pokes, that's it. The canoe's still moving pretty fast. It's turning, so it is slowing down a little bit, but it's moving at almost full speed to this point right here. So when you're gonna do a hard turn, in other words, now I'm gonna poke real hard, and the person in one is gonna uni, which I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. That's part of the deal too. And number two is over here like this. So 3 people are actually trying to make that canoe spin. Okay, so how much of my turn have I done already? Half already. 1/8. I've already done 90 degrees. All I have is 90 degrees left to go. Okay, so when we call uni. Okay, so that's when the steersman makes the call. Then number 1 goes in, and number 2. So the canoe's going to spin right around the pin, right around here, and it'll be. So you got 90 right here, right? So about 45. So you're turning the canoe, hard turn, so that it's about like that. Okay? 2 seconds, that's all it is, 2 strokes. And you're at that position. And after that, you just roll out. And back to it. So your hard turn is only for 45 degrees. So if you're like this and you call a hard turn, all the canoes that are doing the turn really good, they're out of there. They're done. You're gone. You're stuck over here. You're gonna get stuck right there. And you lost the race. So the key is to be able to go there, snap it around, and out you go. Okay? That's the trick. Not the easiest thing to do.
So you make it look so easy, right?
Just like that. No other boats to worry about. No current, no wind.
If you're in the front, you have nothing to worry about. If you're behind, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. So the key is to get here like this. And this is what I look for when I'm coaching. I don't expect to do it today, but you call the uni before the ama gets to the flag. So by the time the canoe reacts, the ama wraps right around. So at practice, ultimately when we get closer to regatta time, the ama's rubbing the buoy. That's how you want to be comfortable enough to get the ama to rub the buoy at practice all the time. So that in a race, you're not out here like this. Because look at this. This is half a canoe length. Or more. Could be a whole canoe length. Guess what? That's what equal to the finish line, right?
Is there a penalty for hitting the flag?
No, you can massage the flag. You just can't.
Massage
You
it.
cannot let the fabric touch the water.
Oh, if you knock it, it can't touch the
water.
The
The
flag
can't hit
yeah.
the water.
I wrote that rule too.
Oh.
So, Mike, what if the wind is blowing such that the flag is almost touching the water anyway?
Don't make it look obvious.
Touch any harder, you're fine.
They've been known to call.
Do it perfect.
Especially Waimanalo. Waimanalo, that flag is with the swells and
Yeah.
everything.
The fabric part.
So, and so what happens if you do this?
Oh, you're gonna take care of that.
That happens before. That happens at Waimanalo mostly.
People start holding up the flag with their paddle.
Yeah, no, you unhook it. We've done that before. I think the rule book says you cannot do that.
Doesn't flip down.
Unhook it.
As long as it's not like
Unhook
a
it.
slalom
We've done that.
ski
And
race
they-
where it just
No way.
whips.
We did it one race, and they
Down.
said, "Oh, you teach that at Kailua." I said, "You better." Yeah, that's what I do. I
You
teach
just like right
It doesn't happen too often, but it will happen at the Waimanalo. Each turn in every regatta, each turn is different. So the turn I'm going to show you guys today is just a standard canal turn, something used at Kehilagon. When you go to Kailua, it's a different turn. When you go to Waimanalo, it's a different turn. And Nanakuli probably your worst turn because you never know. It's unpredictable. Okay, everybody got that? So you got to roll in. This is the hard part. So this is all This is all the steersman right here. After that, it's a little bit of the guys in the front and the back to get the canoe out. So what we do,
I think it's gonna happen like that.
most of the crews are taught. You do your last change before the canoe starts to make a turn. So in other words, you have to get number one on the right side, the collar,
On the right
So
side.
3 has to do
on the
that.
right side,
1, 3.
before the canoe starts to go into the approach. Because if you do a change right there,
You lose momentum.
the canoe is already going a little bit slower. You're going to make it go real slow. That change, even that hesitation for that 1/2 a second that nobody's putting a stroke in, it slows the canoe down.
Yes.
So you want to do it somewhere around here. So the collar's got to think about it down here, right? You don't want a 25 or a 30. I'd rather see 2 5s than 120.
2, 5.
So 2 5s. If it's less than 5, it should be.
to get them over to the
Yeah.
right-hand side before you hit that
So,
approach.
right. So, 2 5s. If it's anything less than that, then no need. You should be able to handle that extra 5 stroke.